Hey guys, this is Mike with Carolina Blue Smoke Barbecue and Outdoor Cooking. And today we're going to do something I kind of seen on TikTok and a couple of small reels, and that is doing a pulled ham. It's already been smoked once, non-spiral, bone in, and we're going to try to do this, cook it to probably around 205, 210 till it's probe tender. We're going to smoke this thing all night long, really slow at about 200 degrees. I'm also cooking a Boston butter on here at the same time for my sister, so I've started it a little bit earlier at a little higher temp. But both of them, we're going to let them run all night long. It's already after 10 o'clock now. Probably put it on about midnight tonight. We don't have to be at the party till 4 o'clock tomorrow. And I also want to do something a little different. I'm going to use some Blues Hogs rub, and I'm going to put some pineapple on this thing, like pineapple preserves. Because to me, ham and pineapple just go great together. I remember my mom cooking hams as a kid and always having pineapple on it. So we're going to try this out, see how it turns out. Probably eat these with sliders or buns. We also have some Blue Hogs barbecue sauce. Plus, I'll probably make my own as well. But hang out with us. Go through this with us. It's the first time I've ever done it. But I'm excited about it. I mean, I love pulled pork. It's got to be good, right? The ham, same thing, same pig, just a different part. So let's try this out. Come along with us.
We're going to go ahead and start out by scoring this. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can do diamond cuts, you can do square cuts, but just to add a little bit more depth to it and smoke. So I'm going to add a binder to this. I've done this one other time and really liked the way it turned out, but I use some Texas Pete. You can use Frank's or Louisiana, just to add a little bit of heat to that bark on the outside of this ham. So I went ahead and slathered this whole thing down with some Texas Pete, and then we come back with the Blues Hog, I think that's the name of it, the sweet and savory rub that we'll put on top of this. And really enjoyed how the bark turned out on this smoked ham overall, and how it just had a little bit of heat to it with some sweetness. All right, it's about midnight. We're getting ready to put her on here for a smoke bath at 200 degrees. She's going to cook pretty good while. We also add a little bit more rub on top.
All right, so this has been smoking all night at 200 degrees. I just lifted it up, spritzed it with some apple cider vinegar, half and half of water. Don't look at my jump back there. But I got the Boston butt on here and this ham, and I just spritzed it. So kind of showing you what it looks like now. Boston butt. I've got on two. All right, so I just cut this down to low because I'm getting ready to open this up. Ain't no use of burn pellets here, but internal temp on that is around 170, and this one right here is about between 160 and 170 as well. We're going to go ahead and take these off. This main video is about this one, the ham, so we're going to take it off and add a little bit to it and put it back on here. So let's take it off now.
All right, we're going to doctor this thing up with a small can of pineapple juice. Shake that thing up. We're going to pour it over top of this. The one little mistake I made was I think I put too much water in this, which, listen, whenever you strain this out and get all the goodness in the pineapple at the end of this, you can just pour the extra juice or au jus away. But I probably should just put a half a cup instead of this full cup of water in. Because there is a lot of water in these hams. They're salted and they're injected with water ahead of time because they're already smoked once, and they need to preserve them. So yeah, that's one mistake I had, and I put another half a can of pineapple on this one. Of course, I drank the other half, and we're getting ready to wrap this thing back up. Getting ready to pour some pineapple preserves on top of this, and man, I loved how this thing came out with a nice pineapple taste. At the end, we'll taste test this and let you guys see. But yeah, let's wrap this thing up and let's go ahead and put it back on the smoker. I did hit it with a little bit more of this Blues Hogs savory, which I did like. It wasn't too salty. And then we add the pineapple preserves on top. All right, so I put this back on the smoker, put a probe in it. We run this thing to around 205, 210. That's when it was probe tender. I put it in a hot box for 2.5 hours. And then right now we're getting ready to undo this for you, show you what it looks like, and go ahead and start separating this out. I always like letting my Boston butts and hams and things like that sit for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours before I start messing with them. I just think they turn out better in my opinion, but this one still had quite a good bark on it. We're going to separate this thing out for you and taste test it. So this device is really cool. You just pour your au jus and juice into it. Now, since I had the pineapple preserves, it actually separated that as well. This way you can separate your grease from your actual au jus. And when you add this back in, you're not adding in a bunch of grease. So really like that little device. Let's start pulling this thing out and show you what it looks like. All right, we're taking a bear claw and just kind of separating this out. Make sure you get the bone out of this because the bone will break in half as it gets, softened up, and you don't want to bite into a bone, but go through every bit of this and get that bone out. So I personally, every time I do a Boston butt, and this time a ham, I go through every little piece of it, pull the fat out. I have a little tray over to the side, a pan, there I'm throwing the fat, the bones, all that, the stuff I don't want to eat, I'm throwing it over there. But look at this bark still on this thing. Man, this thing was awesome. It's got that little bit of heat with the Texas Pete from the beginning and that Blues Hogs rub that we put on the outside of it. So I was really impressed with that. And this turned out a little bit salty, not too salty, with a little bit of heat. Really enjoyed that with the sweetness. All right, so we shredded this thing up. We got it the way we wanted as far as all the fat out of it, the bark in there. I hit it again a little bit more with that Blues Hog rub, not a whole lot. We're going to add some of this au jus. You can see the separator here. You just, pull that trigger on it, which I really like. I bought this off Amazon. And hit that juice back in there. That way there's not a lot of grease. It's mostly juice. And then where we strained this, the pineapple preserves is still left at the top. So then we just knock that back in there. And then we're going to mix this all up. And then we're going to try this.
All right, guys, pulled ham, nice little bark on the end of it too. So let's try this thing out. That is killer. It's got just a little bit of saltiness to it, not overwhelming. That pineapple, you can taste it in it. It's kind of infused it a little bit. The little bit of pineapple chunks that's that we mix back in on it. Only thing I'd probably change is I got a lot of juice still left over. I probably would only put about a quarter cup to a half a cup of water instead of a full cup of water. But man, this is juicy. It definitely tastes like a ham, but it's pulled. So hey, give it a shot, give it a try. I'm definitely going to do this again. We'll see how it turns out at the Christmas party tonight. Please like, comment, subscribe to Carolina Blue Smoke Barbecue and Outdoor Cooking. We love to do anything with smoking meat, appetizers, anything like that on your smoker, pellet grill, wood fire grill, anything like that. Have a good one. Bye.